is good to be back for another college football season. So, podcast will be on YouTube as well. So please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. It would really help immensely. Well, let's get this started with part one of the 2024 Miami Hurricanes opponent preview series. This first part previews the 2024 Florida Gators. Our opponent up in Gainesville on August 31st at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC/ESPN. Billy Napier enters his third season as Florida's coach with an 11-14. He's facing pressure. The Gators risk a fourth consecutive losing season, a slump not seen since the Great Depression, amid a tough 2024 schedule. Optimism remains for a bowl game, hinging on offensive performance and defensive improvement. Florida's offense is one of the team's strengths, and they have the personnel. The Gators boast a top 10 offensive line, a solid receiving core, and a strong running back in Montrell Johnson, Jr. Additionally, they have Graham Mertz, who's a top 5 quarterback prospect for the 2025 NFL Draft, according to Pro Football Focus Trevor Sikkema. Look for 5-star quarterback DJ Lagway to challenge Mertz for the starting position this season. Now, while I believe Mertz will secure the job, his hold on it may be tenuous, and that leash will be very short, especially if they struggle early. Now, their offense will see some changes this season. With Ricky Pearsall off to the NFL, Eugene Wilson III is set to step up as the main target for Mertz. He's expected to bring the same run-catch skills as school legend Percy Harvin. Keep an eye out for breakout players like Chimere Okdike, Elijah Badger, and Khalil Jackson, Artis Boardingham, and Andy John. Now, Montrell Johnson Jr. will be the lead running back this year. Now, while he may not be explosive as ETN was, he's now in Athens, the success of the team will depend on the offensive line, especially with the return of Austin Barber and the addition of Brandon Crenshaw Dixon, who came over from San Diego State in the portal. Now, Florida's defense underwent significant changes after a disappointing season. Billy Napier made the tough decision to let go of his defensive line and secondary coaches due to the team's struggles. And in their place, he brought in Ron Roberts to coach the linebackers after Jay Bateman's departure to Texas A&M. With this retooled coaching staff, this team is now equipped with better talent and experience. 2 sophomore linemen, Kelby Collins and TJ Searcy, are expected to play crucial roles in the defense. Safety Jordan Castell, who led the team with 60 tackles last year, will also be a key player. Additionally, cornerback Devin Moore is returning after a season plagued by injuries. He will line up opposite Jason Marshall Jr., who is entering his 4th year as a starter. Linebackers Shamar James and Justice Boone have recovered from knee surgeries and will be back on the field. James will be joined in the formation by the formidable South Carolina transfer Grayson Pup Howard. In addition to Howard, the team has gained valuable additions to the transfer portal. 6th-year safeties Asa Turner from Washington and DJ Douglas from Tulane, as well as high-motor defensive tackle Joey Stackman from Penn, have all joined the team. Furthermore, true freshman L.J. McCray, a highly rated defensive line prospect standing at 6'6" and weighing 274 pounds, is expected to make an impact. With these changes and additions, Florida's defense is poised for a fresh start and improved performance in the upcoming season. Now, on special teams, they get Jeremy Crenshaw back as punter, who would have been second in the nation with his 48.9-yard average on 42 punts if he had qualified. Trey Smack took over the kicking duties in Week 3 and ended up making 17 out of 21 field goals. And, of course, Wilson will now be their main returner now. The key to Florida's season will be their defense against the run. Now, back in the day, the Florida run defense was impenetrable against good ground attacks. For instance, in 2012, the teams could only manage an average of 2.98 yards per carry, with no one reaching 160 yards. The 2023 Gator run defense, however, was a different story. It was the worst in decades, allowing a whopping 4.84 yards per carry. LSU and Kentucky both ran for 329 yards against them, and 6 out of 7 teams, except for Vanderbilt, reached 150 yards. Florida struggled, going 0-5 when surrendering 170 yards or more, and 1-6 when teams averaged 3.5 yards a carry. If you happen to be the Florida football program and you just had a disappointing 5-7 season with 4 consecutive losses to end the season, then you're in desperate need of a strong beginning. Scratch that. You need an absolutely phenomenal start. Defeating the Canes in Gainesville might not define their entire season before September even arrives, but boy, it would make an incredible boost. With 4 of the first 5 games and 6 of the first 8 and 9 of the last of the 9 out of 12 games being in the state of Florida, there's plenty to be excited for about the potential of the 2024 Florida season. However, it all hinges on that crucial victory against the Hurricanes on August 31st. That's the big one right there. When you look at Florida's schedule, there are numerous SEC games to contend with, and that back end of Florida's schedule is murder. Georgia and the cocktail party in Jacksonville, at Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, FSU to close. Yikes. Florida allowed 39 sacks for a total loss of 260 yards, and opponents were sacked 22 times for a total loss of 143 yards. Fumbles lost, Florida 7, opponents 4. Fumbles, 15 for Florida's opponents, 14 for Florida. Now I'm going to look at this now. Now I turn over to the Canes perspective. This is Mario Cristobal's 3rd season in Coral Gables, and let's make no mistake, this is the biggest game in his tenure to date. This is a game we have to win. We know the deal. They've beaten us 2 of the last 3 meetings, but the Canes have won 5 of the last 7 meetings against Florida. This is a statement game for the UM, and a game it must win. I said that from the beginning. Said it after the Rutgers game last year. I feel this is the year. If we're going to take that next step, big step in progress, this is a game you have to win on the road in Gainesville to start the season. For Florida, to wrap up, I'm going to go with 7-5 as their record in 2024. In part 2 of the series, I will preview the FAMU Rattlers.